there is a positive and negative consequence. On the contrary, if we can respond rightly, then we will make much progress in all walk of life. In the economy, in social, in military, in education, in culture, in everything. So that's why we must back to our philosophy, how we make synergize, we make partnership and cooperation, and to prevent as much as possible many kinds of conflict. And of course, it is influenced much by many factors, and the factors now are become complex, not simple any longer. So we need more knowledge, more supporting knowledge, more supporting information. How we use to damage is very worldwide, not only local. So that's why now you are challenged to convince every human, every people across the world that we must renew our relation, our friendships. We cannot be egoistic and selfish as a nation, because now we become united, interdependent. What is happening in one country at the same time quickly influences the other countries around the world. So that's why you must prepare yourself. Now, with this kind of training, I really appreciate to the UPN, which hold these kinds of United Nations General Assembly, to resolve many kind of problems of poverty, of conflicts, especially the abuse of the child soldiers, abduction, sexual harassment of the woman, something like that, all become the problem. So this is why you must prepare yourself not only intellectually, but also metaphysically, psychologically. You must prepare yourself. Now you are not only
can start from the revision of Afghanistan. You can introduce yourself.
Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates, my name is Kuyuji Baskito from SMAN, and this is my first time to join the diplomatic course competition. Thank you.
SMA 1 and this is my first time to participate in diplomatic course competition.
It's the first step and participation in diplomatic course competition, and thank you.
So this is my second time participating in diplomatic course competition.
Second participation in diplomatic course competition. Thank you.
This diplomatic course competition.
Good morning, thank you.
They call me Nomi, and this is my first time. Good morning, honorable chairs and fellow delegates. My name is Laurencia. You can call me Laurencia, and this is my first time
joining BCC, but this is not my first time to join such plenary. This is my first time to join diplomatic course competition. Thank you.
Diplomatic course competition. Thank you.
Good morning, the Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. My name is Muhammadin Agus Azrautama. You can call me Abdul. I am from the
Announcement, because we are limited a microphone. If you want to speak in emotion or another, you can request or you can ask from microphone man in around you. And the third is, for you, if you want to send a message to another delegate, you can your basic in your not in your table. And third is you want to rest a placard, please. Is English. The report or document and statements shall be made available in English. Courtesy. Delegates shall out all the time show courtesy and respect to other delegates. Member of the Secretariat and staff, any violation shall be subject to reprimand by the chairperson of the Secretariat. The plagiarism. The plagiarism of a resolution, working paper, or any other document is outlawed at this 2018. Plagiarism shall lead to the exclusion of the document from the discussion at the discretion of the chairperson or the legal service department.
Afghanistan has been gripped by an increasingly violent and complex urban conflict. At the end of 2014, the first election ushered in a national unity government. NATO and the Peace Comeback Mission and the Afghan National Security Force ANSF formally took lead responsibility for the country's fragile security. Despite this, the conflict has intensified and ANSF has struggled to counter the Taliban's effort to regain control of the country. Numerous militias and armed groups operate, most of whom are known to use children in some capacity. In other way, Afghanistan also has a main income from crude oil in oil.
Thank you, Leader of Afghanistan. Your time
of children participating in armed and non-armed conflicts is increasing in recent years. The Arab Republic is very concerned about this children's rights violation, and they are strongly against the acts of using underage children in conflicted areas as their armed or non-armed personnel. We believe that in order to address this issue, there must be a comprehensive discussion today about first, identification, second, prevention, third, rehabilitation, and fourth, further integration. We hope that we can find our common ground on this topic and reach consensus in the end. Thank you. We yield the time back to the chair.
Removing, reducing, and banning any requirement practice important to do. Remember, child mortality is crucial. To our United Nations Assembly, the delegates said the problem child dying during war or conflict and everything that happened to them and along the course become child soldier or assistant support work requires immediate attention because the day of the future generation will be detrimental to the development of society. Under Chapter 6 in the Convention on the Right of Child by UNICEF, child have right to life and government should ensure that child survive and develop healthily. Therefore, this delegate believe that this United Nations should.
Thank you, Leader of Republic Indonesia. Your time is up.
In world peace, located in Southwest Asia between Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Pakistan, Iraq, and the Bay of Oman. Part of UN since 24 October 1945 and the Organization of the Statement of UN. In this meeting of United Nations General Assembly at Jakarta, 4 April 2018, I was the present and voting. I am represented by three ambassadors and secretary nations striving for unity and fostering increase the role of the United Nations General Assembly in handling child survey in Middle East armed conflict area as topic of this meeting. While looking for handling child survey in Middle East armed conflict area, it will make sense to recognize of human rights practice to children. Referring to the law on the Convention on the Right of the Child, which has been recognized in the world and regulates how things about it. The right to get decent life. The world should pay attention for this issue and public interest. Thank you.
Child soldiers in Iraq as a pressure problem is crucial to be discussed. To our United Nations meeting, this delegate feels that the serious problem must be finished sooner because besides it violates the right and law, this is a long problem that needs a long time to be done. This Republic of Iraq has to recruit these children to prevent the recruitment of non-state groups that tend to worsen the impacts already existed in our status quo. This delegate asks for support to do our future actions ideas which are rebuilding Iraq to get a better situation and environment for our children. so they can do their jobs as it should be, and they are not forced to help our country in military and repairing their mental health and trauma by doing rehabilitation process, disarmament, immobilization, and reintegration, and access mechanism from poverty, nationalism, and doctrinalization problems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates, since the beginning of the Syrian civil war in 2011, Lebanon has been heavily affected from security, social, and economic standpoints by spillover effects. The Syrian crisis has greatly affected the Lebanese Republic economy and demographics and has resulted in a deepening of political instability and insecurity. As one of the founding members of the United Nations in a state which was affected the most by the conflict in Syria and Palestine, the Lebanese Republic expressed deep concern over the children exploitation as a combatant and a victim in armed conflicts. The Lebanese Republic fully supports all international efforts to solve the children involvement as a combatant or non-combatant in armed conflict. Thank you.
Thank you all, Lebanon. Now we invite the delegate of Libya to speak in this process.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates. Since ratifying the conference have increased due to the lack of adults as the human resources to become more armed. In 2016, there were a lot of cases reported from big cities in Libya. For example, groups pledging allegiance to ISIL expanded and gained territory in central Libya. Municipal leaders in Libya have taken an action to protect children from the impact of armed conflict in 2016. Therefore, Libya would like to propose several points to be considered as solutions to reduce child soldiers throughout the conflict country, as follows. The first, give education and protection to the children until they are 18 years old. Second, set up health and education services. Plus, watch the application of CRC in domestic legislation. In order to stabilize Libya, UN has to act immediately in facing minor conflicts so the conflicts will not increase and become a war. Besides, UN must interfere in eliminating the non-signatories. Thank you.
Thank you.
The delegation of Pakistan is delighted to be part of this conference. Pakistan believes that recruitment child soldiers are not justified. Children who are required are underage, and this is not the responsibility of the children for doing separately. This issue is necessary for discuss in this agenda because we already know that there is about 300,000 child fall victims from this child soldier recruitment. Child soldiers are the global issue that are endangering the children in Middle East armed conflict area. Considering the issues of recruitment of child soldiers, the Republic of Pakistan has found more efficient way to give preventive solution and ready to share this option with the other countries. In conclusion, we hope that the Republic of Pakistan, with the help of United Nations and all other countries, can cooperate together to find efficient solution for this issue. Thank you.
Chair and distinguished delegates, in war, children are mostly victims of both physical and mental. Therefore, Russia supports the training of children in warfare because the Russian Federation wants to protect them from the threat of war. So, when the war occurs, children have a chance to protect themselves as well as they can to self-healing from the trauma war. Russian Federation signed an optional protocol to the Convention on the Involvement of Children in Armed Conflict on 15 February 2001 and ratified on 28 September 2008. Ministry Education of Russia proposed to government for increasing budget. The Russian Department of Education proposed to the government to increase the budget of military education with the aim providing military knowledge and fostering the soul of patriotism. So that's all for me. Thank you.
About the child soldier, there is the definition of child soldier is women under age 18 would take the gun and go to war and support the direction, boy and girl, not just in their national army but include invaded Taliban. Almost child soldier is boy. Almost 90% is boy, and the woman is become a sex for the army. Thank you.
Soldiers soldiers are defined as minors that are recruited to work for war purposes in such conflicted areas. And we believe that the age of child soldiers is defined in the Conference of Rights of the Children around 18 years old of consent age. But we believe that there are a few countries that are conflicting the idea of the age, which is 15 to 17 years old of consent age. But we believe that this age is too young for them to be able to express their consent of going to war. That's why we believe that it is under 18 years old and below. Thank you.
We would like to highlight more about the problem within the definition of skills. For instance, it does not state and describe whether voluntary recruitment by state or non-state carrying out for military education is permitted or not. Secondly, the protocol does define non-armed children such as spies, cooks, messengers as child soldiers. Thank you for the Tajikistan on that problem. However, the protocol does not prohibit the recruitment of these non-armed child soldiers. Well, we believe that that is all for from the regime. We would like to approach all of the delegates to discuss about past actions, evaluate your past actions, and to create a vision for the future actions. Thank you.
1 minute and 1 minute to speaking time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next actions, the past actions that we've done are first, law enforcement, especially on the modification of Law 126 in 2008, stating that we feel the child soldiers at risk and offering them rehabilitation rather than letting out harsh punishment. And also the AG Constitution Law 8, Article 80. And since 2011, AG has undergone tremendous upheaval affecting all aspects of civil society, especially in making gains in education, access to vaccines, and sanitized water. However, we still face many obstacles, especially in educational aspects, such as children cannot attend during formal school hours because they have to work and cannot afford school fees, supplies, and uniforms, like also lack of teacher. The Arab Republic of Egypt economized the aspects that should be taken into account.
Time is left. Now we move to
The right of the child in 1991 and in 2012, I was president.
Established a deep integration center. Besides that, in 2017, the Libyan Bani Walid Local Council announced its commitment to release, rehabilitate, and reintegrate children associated with armed groups, according to a statement by the United Nations Children's Organization. Thank you.
Thank you dari kami.
Russia proposed to government for increasing budget for Russia Department of Education proposed to the government to increase the budget of military education with the aim of providing military knowledge and fostering the soul of patriotism. Patriotic summer camp training for children has been conducted in some parts of Russia and often involves some kind of military training. In the children's summer camp, All Russia Young Army National Military Patriotic Social Movement Association, boys and girls were prepared for military service, learning to love their country and using weapons.
In Iraq itself, we believe that yes, we have to agree on the Geneva Convention when where the child soldiers are considered as war crimes, but we do admit that Iraq has reduced the ICC policies of the child soldiers because we believe that there are still too many child soldiers inside Iraq, and it is not. It is out of hand of Iraq, and we have no capabilities to erase all of those child soldiers by ourselves. Thus, we believe that the result of this ICC policy is our mechanism of seeking for help from other countries. Thank you.